Do you do anything around, like, we've kind of brushed upon the Wi-Fi stuff that you were talking about, but I'm assuming that, like, kind of like Mark, do you do anything around your sleep to enhance your sleep in the environment?
You mean trying to introduce what you might experience if you were like a caveman sleeping outside, but simulate that in your bedroom?
Yeah, as far as light's concerned, I know that you mentioned he turns off Wi-Fi stuff, but I know that, like, for me personally, I just mess with the light. I just mess with the light.
Yeah. I mean, like, basic sleep hygiene is controlling temperature, controlling sound, and controlling safety. Right. So, and people hear that and kind of makes intuitive sense. Like, don't look at bright shit before you go to bed at night, sleep kind of cold. Don't have barking dogs and alarms and fire trucks in the bedroom, and try to make sure that you're not in a stressed out state when you go to bed. But a lot of people really don't fully dial that in. So I do. And, as Mark indicated, we could probably talk for like 2 hours about sleep, but the basics are, from a light standpoint, ample amount to large amounts of natural light in both the blue and the red light spectrum during the day. And so when I wake in the morning, I will typically, for the first hour or so I don't have too high of a cortisol awakening response, try to avoid bright lights, blue lights, screens, phones, overhead lights, etc. And when I'm traveling and I, have hotel hallways I'm walking down or whatever, I actually wear the blue light blocking glasses that a lot of people think you're just supposed to wear at night. I'll wear those in the morning, because if you think about it from an ancestral standpoint, we're seeing red light when, not just in the evening at sunset, but also at sunrise. So I'm a big believer the first hour of the day, you try and keep things as red as possible. I have just like a cheapo red light headlamp that I got off of Amazon that I use to get around the house in the morning. I have the red light glasses, and then
what brand are the glasses, by the way? Because there's so many.
The ones I use are RA. RA. I like them because they've actually done testing with the lenses to see that they actually block blue light, and then they also don't look like birth control for your head. I mean, they're actually like fashionable, and it's like German engineered steel and acetate, and they're just cool looking glasses. Okay. So anyways, red both in the morning and at night. So my logic is, let's make, even if I can't be in the sunrise and the sunset, my house or wherever I'm at be as red as possible in the morning and as red as possible at night. And you can even install software like Iris on your computer, or you can use red light producing apps on your phone. And that's what I typically have enabled, both in the morning and in the evening. Most people just think about that stuff in the evening, but my theory is that circadian rhythmicity begins in the morning, and it begins not with a whole bunch of sunlight and blue light, as a lot of people think, but instead involves gradually awakening in the same way that you might awaken with like a sunrise alarm clock, or like those chili pad or sleep systems now have the ability to circulate a little bit of warm water underneath your body to gradually wake you. Or there are haptic devices like the Apollo, like these wearables that'll start to like vibrate just a little bit, so you gradually wake up. I think the same thing with light. Use a little bit of red light for about the first hour or so of the day. And then, of course, in the evening, you eliminate as many of the blue light sources as possible. So whenever the sun happens to go down, whatever area of the world I'm in, I put on the red light glasses. But then our bedroom is all red light, and the master bathroom is red light, and my kid's bedroom is red light, and the little cold pool area that I'll often go out into after I do the sauna at night, it's also just like red light style, Christmas bulbs around the pool. Yeah. So it's just as red as possible at night. And then the form of lighting is also really important in your house, and this would be whether at day or night. You want something other than LED or fluorescence. So the three best forms of light bulbs to use in your house to naturally simulate light would be halogen, incandescent, or OLED. And I'm not a huge fan of dimmer switches or like these Philips Hue systems just because of the amount of EMF that they kick off. So I just have incandescent light bulbs for the red light bulbs and then incandescent natural bulbs throughout the rest of the house. There's a newer company called Bond Charge, and they've got a pretty good lighting section, I think, on their website from the ones that I've seen. And so that's kind of the deal with the light. And then the temperature, same thing. Like, you just want to be kind of cold when you go to bed at night. You can use one of those sleep systems that circulates the cold water under the bed, like the Sleep Me or I think 8 Sleep does cold water. Yeah, but then you can also, if you don't have access to one of those, you can figure out ways to cool the body, like lukewarm shower or soak at some point in the 3 hours leading up to bed. Yeah, because paradoxically, when you get the body just a little bit warm, what it does is it counteracts that surge in vasodilation and warming that occurs post-cold bath or post-cold shower. So it's better to go lukewarm. And then the other thing that you can do to keep the body cool when you sleep is to actually wear socks. And they even did a weird study on that where they show that when you wear socks during sleep, it helps the rest of the body to cool. It has something to do with these they're called like arteriovenous anastomosis in the feet and the hands.
Socks and gloves. Yeah.
When you heat them, I don't do gloves. Yeah, but
got these like little mittens on.
Big hairy gloves that I wear when I sleep. Yeah, my mitts. But the socks can work too. But yeah, basically that's pretty straightforward. Like, you keep the body cool. That also includes trying to avoid heavy meals and hard workouts that finish anything closer than 3 hours before bedtime, if you can. So then you have the sound component. And again, like, I think a lot of people get that the bedroom shouldn't be noisy, but then you can also use a lot of sound hacks, like binaural beats, for example. They make headphones for side sleepers that are soft headphones called sleep phones that aren't like earbuds or over-the-ear headphones that you can actually sleep with and listen to a little bit of sound, like with your phone in airplane mode while you're sleeping. There are also apps like New Calm, or Sleep Stream or Brain FM, and all of these produce sounds that I think are even better than silence in terms of lulling the body to sleep. Like, you hear about white noise a lot. There's another form of noise called pink noise. It's even better than white noise for getting the body into its natural sleep cycles. And so I'll a lot of times use that when I travel, especially. But they've got color names for the different varieties of noise. I think it just refers to the frequency and the spectrum of the sound wave. But pink noise, it sounds kind of like white noise, but the best way I can describe it is it's like a little bit softer. So you can also, of course, wear earplugs to drown out noise. And a lot of times if I'm traveling, I'll put in earplugs and then put those sleep phones on, playing something like New Calm over the earplugs. And I just I can't hear anything. Like, fire alarms or whatever. It's probably I'm going to die is getting burnt up in a hotel room while I sleep.
With your socks on.
Yeah, exactly. with my socks on. And so the silence and the noise is another interesting component. And I'll even sometimes like sleep with the earplugs and something like headphones on. And then if I wake at like 4 or 5 a.m. and I want to grab an extra 20 or 30 minutes, I'll play like a New Calm session or one of these apps that'll do like a quick 30-minute power nap type of thing and grab just an extra like half hour or so of sleep.
Yeah.
So the noise is another one to think about. And then the last one would be the safety component. And that would be like, for example, when I used to check into a hotel room, I just slap my laptop on the bed and lay on there on my belly and get some work done. But the body begins to associate the bed with work. Same thing if you got business books by your bedside, or anything that would cause your brain to associate the bed with like productive activities. I don't have a TV in my bedroom for that reason, and also for the lighting and the EMF reasons. So basically, the bed should be for sleep or for sex, and you should be engaged in activities during the day that keep you from using the bed for anything else. Like my sons, because they're homeschooled, I used to always catch them just laying on their bed in their bellies, doing their work or doing an essay or whatever. And I tell them all the time, and they don't do this anymore because of this. Like, the bed is something your brain should associate with sleep. And so books by the side of the bed, like fiction books or enjoyable books or magazines or things that don't put your mind on work, and no working in bed. And they even have gravity blankets from a safety component. And these are really interesting because when the body has something heavy on it, it feels more safe. There's this parasympathetic type of trigger that occurs when you got like a 20, 25 pound gravity blanket on. It's a lot easier than shoving needles on either side of the neck to activate that parasympathetic system. Gravity blankets are cool. I think the Sleep ME system, they even have a gravity blanket that circulates the cold water through the gravity blanket. And from a safety standpoint, the other interesting thing is that back to what you were asking about with EMF, technically that's a mildly sympathetic triggering signal for the body. I'm not anti-EMF. Like, I love technology and there's a lot of benefits to having access to the internet and phones, et cetera. But arguably, the one time when your nervous system engages in the greatest amount of repair and recovery is during that 7 to 9 hours that you're in bed. So if you're going to protect anything from high amounts of electricity and EMF, or if you're going to like hire a building biologist like Andrew was talking about to look at your environment, like, the bedroom should be the place to prioritize having as few electrical signals as possible bouncing around. And so that could be everything from like dirty electricity filters in the outlets that are in the bedroom to you can even buy like kill switches that you can put on the router, on the circuit board for the bedroom. You guys are going to laugh at this, but I actually, when I get into bed, I have a remote control. And I push that remote control once my wife and I are laying in bed, and it goes in the entire bed. We got like this princess bed with the 4 bed posters. A giant silver fabric Faraday cage comes down and surrounds the entire bed. And you I can't send a text message. I can't take a phone call. None of my technology even works in bed. And you feel like you're in like this peaceful, restorative cave. Wow. And my only complaint about it was the first few times we used it, it felt like the air in there got a little like just hot and sticky. So I put this tiny little mini oscillating fan on my side that just blows a little bit of fresh air in through this little hole in the fabric. And that is it. I mean, it sounds nerdy and it sounds like something some stupid biohacker would do, but it's actually a game changer for sleep, especially, you know, if you're a guy like me, I'm on the computer a lot, I'm working a lot, like I'm getting exposed to electricity a lot. And so for me to just be totally shut off from that for my entire night of sleep is pretty amazing. And it's literally like a remote control operated Faraday cage. I had this company called Shielded Healing do it because they sell like the Faraday cage curtains, but I didn't like having to like pull all the strings and it'd get like, you know, crumpled up and the strings would get knots in them. So I now have it on a pulley system where you just push a button and it comes down around the entire bed. Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too. So you can get whatever you like from us. All right. Peace.